In today's Leeds news, pre-season game possibilities, Leeds double Liverpool swoop, interest in Melier, Rutter's agent in hot water, McAtee update and competition, and less credible links today. Morning folks, welcome back to The View for Thursday the 15th of May with your Leeds United news. I hope you're having a good week so far. There's not a huge amount of stuff to get stuck into. There's a little bit of detail on some updated stories about some potential games this summer that we'll get stuck into. I'm going to keep reminding people about this for a little bit of time, so excuse me if it starts to get annoying a bit. The Leeds United content creators are playing a match at the John Charles Centre for Sport in Leeds on the 20th of July. Ticket information for that is down below. It is for Prostate Cancer UK. So if you want to come and hang out with us, have a bit of fun, there'll be other stuff happening on the day as well. It will be broadcasted as well. There's a really big package going into this from Joe Blackburn, but if you want to get information and come and hang out with us for a little bit, details are down below to get tickets for that game in July. It's the day after Leeds play Manchester United in the pre-season friendly, so good weekend all around. Let's start off and go into the first story of today, and this, although it has yet to be confirmed by anybody involved, there are strong sources backing this story. Leeds are rumoured to be travelling to Ireland for a friendly in the Aviva Stadium this coming August. The rumoured opponent for the game is said currently to be AC Milan, but that has yet to be confirmed by either side. There's no confirmation either whether this is a slightly larger tournament that Leeds will be a part of or whether it's a one-off game. And as I say, Milan are yet to be confirmed, but it would be great to see Leeds United travel back to Ireland, and in this kind of a game will be a very big game, will likely bring a very big crowd for that, but we will wait for full confirmation on this and give you the detail once we've got that. As of right now, it's still very much a rumour, although a very strong rumour with information floating around with different sources. But let's move on. Let's talk about a double move for Leeds United that could happen this summer. And to start this off and just lay it all out, we all know the situation with Caoimhín Kelleher. We've covered it several times this week. If you're not aware of that, you can go back and check out the earlier videos this week to get that detail. But the general consensus amongst everyone on the comments section has been that £40 million for a player with 12 months left on his contract is a little bit too steep. But reports today suggest that the £40 million being rumoured isn't just for Caoimhín Kelleher and could be for two players from Liverpool. According to Team Talk, so you know the deal with this, at this point it's all speculation, so pinch of salt territory, but they claim that Liverpool will not stand in Leeds United's way amid strong speculation that Leeds are preparing a double move for Liverpool goalkeeper Caoimhín Kelleher and left back Kostas Tsimikas. Team Talk claimed that Leeds' transfer budget this summer is said to be in and around £150 million, and that's been backed up by other outlets over the last couple of weeks. And according to a separate claim from journalist Dominic King, he says that Leeds have genuine interest in prizing both players away from Liverpool this summer. The report says that Liverpool want £40 million for Kelleher, but the journalist here states that a bid of between 25 and 30 million is likely to be enough to get a deal done for Kelleher. And then moving on to the left back Tsimikas, he said he's an option to replace Junior Firpo, who looks more and more likely to be leaving Leeds in the coming weeks. And he says that an offer of £15 million would be enough to get Tsimikas from Liverpool. So Leeds could get both players for a combined £40 million fee, which would represent much better value and fill two positions that Leeds will need to get covered this summer. But there would be question marks whether Tsimikas is of the standard Leeds need. I think he is. I think most people will think that he is. But this season Tsimikas has only started 8 games for Liverpool. He's played 17 in total across the season and started 5 games in the Champions League. But he is the backup left back of the English champions right now, so there is quality there, and he has played enough games across Europe and in England. The other side to this as well is he would also offer some good, strong quality in that left back position and experience, being 29 years of age and having been at Liverpool for a couple of years now as well. But we'll have to keep an eye on that one. It's growing legs. There's a lot more noise around this one, but it is coming from Team Talk, and they're not always hits. They have a couple of hits, but they have a couple of misses as well. So we'll keep an eye on that. The interesting part of that is the Dominic King section. So it's coming from 2 different areas. So there might be some smoke in this. So we'll keep an eye on it. Let's move on and talk about a potential move for Leeds keeper Illan Melier this summer. And reports in France today suggest that there is some interest building in Leeds United goalkeeper Illan Melier in France. Leeds are widely expected to bring in a new number 1 this summer, and Illan Melier is rumoured to be moving away from the club in the summer. Report in lesviolets.com today says that Rennes, Toulouse and Nantes are all said to have varying levels of interest in Melier at this point as we approach the opening of the summer transfer window. Leeds signed Melier back in 2020 for €6.5 million at that point. He has now gone on to have played 214 games for Leeds, 107 of them coming during the time in the Premier League. The report on the sources, and excuse the muddle up of this, it's been translated from French, so the report claims that this originally came from TFC, and they claim that their sources on this are sound and the move is appealing, but that feasibility remains low on a move due to a couple of reasons. Leeds firstly will look to have signed a replacement number one for Melier before they allow a move away from the club, and Melier's transfer market value is rumoured to be in and around €22 million, which would offer real problems for any French side looking to sign the goalkeeper. Add to that, his wages are estimated to be in and around €160,000 per month, and compared to Toulouse's current number one, who is rumoured to be on €90,000 per month, there is a massive difference in that, and a levelling out of his wages would need to happen for a move to happen to these clubs. Leeds have good relationships with Toulouse and with Rennes due to previous transfer dealings, and a move could happen to both of these sides, but Melier would likely need to take a pay cut on his salary, and Leeds would need to maybe drop the transfer fee a little bit to try and get a move away from the club, but that will likely run for most of the summer, and we'll see how Leeds get on with this. Also, his former side FC Lorient have just been promoted back to Ligue 1, so there could be a potential of interest from them as well, but we'll keep an eye on this one over the summer. Let's move on to some other news relating to Jorginho Rutter and his agent being in possibly a little bit of hot water, and more of a historical piece for Leeds than anything happening right now, but it could explain some of the agent fees that Leeds paid out over the last couple of years. According to a report in German outlet Kicker, they claim to have done some digging into previous transfers done on Jorginho Rutter's move to Hoffenheim and then again to Leeds in 2023. The French attacker's agent Roger Wittmann has had some controversial dealings that are now being looked into. It's claimed that Rutter's move from Rennes to Hoffenheim was aimed to bring the agent individual earnings that come in the region of £3.2 million, which is unusual given that the German side only paid £630,000 for Rutter. The Leeds part in this is interesting. Kicker claim Whittaker's influence as an agent banked him £1.26 million from Rutter's move from Hoffenheim to Leeds United, which apparently came as a surprise to Hoffenheim. The suspicion in this is due to Wittmann's earnings himself and are huge amounts of money for an agent comparative to the fees that were paid. And these relate to the period of time over Andrea Radrizzani and Victor Orta's time at Leeds, and that is also said to be where the excessive amounts of money where Leeds paid the ninth highest amount of money to agents over the past couple of years. Leeds paid Rutter's agents a whopping £1.2 million for his move to Leeds United, and we'll see this investigation or these reports go any further. When we get that information, we'll make sure that everyone has it. There's no report of any issues for Leeds or any kickback towards Leeds, so at the moment it's just a claim into his agent's dealings more than anything else. But given Leeds' amount of money they spent on agents in previous years, it's worth looking at what Leeds paid and who they paid and what their history and controversial payments may be over that time. But let's move on and talk about an update on the James McAtee link over the last couple of weeks and some likely competition for the player. Any move from Leeds for James McAtee this summer is likely to have serious competition from slightly more established teams in the Premier League than Leeds would be, and according to an update in reports today, it's claimed that Leeds are a genuine option for James McAtee this summer. But it also claims that a cut price deal could be on the cards. The Mirror claimed that this week that Leeds have made inquiries about James McAtee, but Leeds are likely to have made inquiries about lots of players this summer as they start to work through their shortlist and refine that to the players they actually want to make bids for, and that's more than likely where most of the rumours tend to come from over summer. Leeds making an inquiry, seeing what the wages are, seeing what the likely transfer fee was, and then weighing that up against their other targets as well. Nottingham Forest, Bayer Leverkusen, Crystal Palace and West Ham are also said to have a keen interest in James McAtee, but a report in the Manchester Evening News this week says that there are no offers yet being made for McAtee, who is now in the final year of his contract, so a cut price deal could be on the cards. City have rejected previous offers for James McAtee of in and around £30 million, but the report states that an offer of £20 million could be enough to get a deal done for McAtee because the player wants a move and the clock is now ticking on his contract. The report also goes on to echo previous interest from Leeds United in the player and says that a move to Elland Road is a genuine option for McAtee, but this will likely all come down to McAtee's personal preference on this, whether it's a money situation or whether it's him wanting to play European football. If Leeds can put forward a more enticing prospect of the future plan of Leeds, then maybe that could be enough to get him to maybe bypass European football for a year or two if Leeds can get there. But ultimately it will come down to the player's personal preference on money and European football next season. We have to keep an eye on that one. And then just to wrap it up today, there's some less credible rumours floating around. I'll give them to you very shortly. You can look into them. They may flesh out over the next couple of weeks. But these reports have come from the other side, the other team's side, rather than Leeds. Kyle Walker-Peters has yet again been linked with a move to Leeds United, but this is more a case of Leeds being mentioned in reports claiming that Crystal Palace and Bournemouth have an interest in Kyle Walker-Peters, and they've named Leeds as an additional side, keeping an eye on the situation. St Gallen's striker William Goebel is also said to be an interest of Leeds, but this comes on the Union Berlin side. They are said to have interest in him, and they have named Leeds as a possible other side interested. Given Isaac Schmidt's time that it took him to adapt to English football, Goebel has only scored 13 goals last season, and that transition to a Premier League club is likely to be much tougher. He's a decent player at that level. He looks like an exciting player, but looks unlikely having scored 13 goals last season, and Union Berlin are heavily linked with a move for him as well. But folks, that'll be it for me today. Back tomorrow morning for the final news video of the week. We are working through the classic games to stream over on Big Up. Let me know what kind of games you'd like to see us stream, or what game particularly you'd like to see us do a watch along over there. Myself and Joe Blackburn will be looking at that as well. That'll be it for me today, folks. Massive thanks as always for supporting the channel, and I will see you tomorrow morning. Talk to you then.